What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production. Comic book reviews. Nifty Nerd news. Heroes versus villains. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm your host, Bry-Fy the comics guy, or Bry-Fy the Mexican guy, or Bry-Fy the new dad guy, or the Bry-Fy, why am I up at 2:30 trying to record this episode for you guys? It's a day late, dollar short. I'm so sorry about that, but I'm going to try to bust through this as quick as I can. At this episode, I do have an interview with the awesome Jessi Jordan. She's going to be at Staple this year, which is March 5th through 6th. March 5th and 6th, and it's going to be really cool. It's not this weekend, it's the next weekend, so it's coming right away. Great thing about this con, it's only $15. It's in Austin, Texas, so if you're in the Texas area, anywhere, Austin's pretty much central, like San Antonio, so you have no excuse for not going to this convention. Anyway, guys, we got some comics for you to review, and a lot of Nifty Nerd news. I'm just going to try to bam it as quickly as I can. That's what she said. And then we'll get to the interview because I don't want you guys to miss out on that. And I don't want to just waste most of your time with me talking when you could be listening to the awesome Jessi and everything. If anything, you can skip probably about 20 minutes and you will get to that part of the interview. Anyway, let's go with the comic book for that I had for review for this week. First, we have Descender number 8 through number 10. And Descender, if you don't know, is a story of like a robot boy and like his friend or his brother who's an actual human. Anyway, humanity gets attacked by these giant robots that they call harvesters. Shit goes down. The boys get separated from each other. Robot boy and human boy get separated from each other. And now it's them trying to go back, but trying to like deal with everything because there's like this robot resistance. Everyone hates robots. All kinds of crazy shit like that. But anyway, Andy, who is the human boy, has teamed up with a scrapper dude named Bludger, not really by choice, but they're on their way to try to go find, track Tim 21, which is the robot boy. And in issue 8, you get to see a lot of their backstory of them growing up and just all this horrible shit that happens and like the tragic thing that happens with their mother. It's sad, but it's really good. It's all done really well. In the next issue, you kind of catch up with Tim 21 and his brother, quote-unquote brother, Tim 22, which is, they're the same type of robot model and crap like that. And they have different views. They have different upbringings. Tim 22 grew up in the robot resistance, where Tim 21 grew up with a human, and so his emotions are a little bit different and everything. And it's kind of crazy, kind of cool type stuff. We get to see that the planet Nish is like super against robots, and then the robot revolution called the Hardwire came there, assassinated their leader. So now his son's up, and his son is like super crazy. It's like Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, all that kind of crazy shit like that. So that's what's happening there, and they're planning on pretty much destroying the entire galaxy because they're pissed and shit like that. So that's going to be pretty bad. Tim 21 and all his friends who are with them, Dr. Kwan, who is like credited with inventing the Tim series robots, but it turns out he really stole that design from like an already existing robot that no one knows where it came from and shit like that. So it's kind of crazy like how all that's happening. But Dr. Kwan and then this Captain chick badass who's with them. Oh God, I can't remember her name, and I feel so bad for that. They arrive on the machine Moon, which is the home of the Hardwire. And, the humans aren't really sure. Like, the two humans, Dr. Kwan and badass commander chick, don't really know if they're so much as guests on this planet, or are they prisoners on this planet. It's kind of cool, kind of crazy. Also, we're a little bit weary of the true intentions of the Hardwire, what they really want with Tim 21, because they want to study him, because apparently he's seen a vision or had a dream, which robots aren't supposed to do, and it's like of this like place where other robots exist, and so they think it's like a robot heaven, but they also think that it not only is it like a heaven, but it's a way to bring back robots that have died or been decommissioned in a way. Like they believe that the UGC, which is the governing body of the galaxy, has kept like backup copy. They back up their shit. And so that's what this heaven is. Tim 21's like connected to this backup, and he's going to be able to bring these robots back and basically bring these people back to life, these robots back to life. So that's kind of, I think, where they're going with that. It is really cool. It's really awesome. It's an intriguing story. And the UGC also has like this council and these group of alien species that can kind of see into the future. They have visions, and one of their visions involves the giant harvesters that wiped out most of humanity, or just life in the galaxy, coming back. And with them coming back, they see that Tim 21's leading them. So that's kind of crazy shit. But as far as these issues go, they're all beautiful. The art's by Dustin Nguyen. Jeff Lemire is the writer on all this. And I mean, it's great. When Jeff Lemire writes his own properties, it is probably some of the most amazing stories that I've ever read. Dustin Nguyen has like the most amazing art that I've ever seen. It's beautiful watercolors. It's great. I'd give each of these issues a 4 out of 5. And honestly, if you're not checking out Descender, you really should. It's a great story, and it's told really well. Up next, we have Gotham Academy issue number 14. It's just one, and this is like a yearbook edition, or it's like fun little side stories or whatnot. And so basically what happens, one of the characters, Maps, wants to join yearbook, but she gets rejected because she's like in like 100 other groups, because she just likes to do everything. And so Olive, her friend, and kind of like the main focal point of Gotham Academy, she decides to cheer up Maps and say, hey, let's do our own thing. I have the scrapbook. Let's retell some of our old stories. And so that's kind of what this issue does. They do like 3 different short stories, but they don't really focus on anything too much. They're just kind of fun, like little side quests, if you will. That's what Maps would do. Maps is like total like D&D RPG character, like totally into that kind of crap. So like I said, none of these really focus on anything. In fact, the third story doesn't even focus on any of the characters. It focuses on a teacher when she was a kid, or something like that. I don't know. It was just really weird. This book, honestly, if you follow the Gotham Academy series, these yearbook editions, you could probably do without. And it just kind of sucks, because it's like, we're taking a break, but throw your money at these 2 things that have the same name, but literally have nothing to do with what we've been telling in the main storyline. And that kind of bugged me a little bit. And so I picked up the first one just to, give it a chance to see. Maybe I dig it. But other than like a few cool art, I mean, Dustin Nguyen does art on one story, and Katie Cook does the story and art on another one, which is cute and everything. But other than that, it was okay. It's not needed, and it's literally just filler until, I guess, the second semester comes in. I think that's what they're billing it as. As far as the rating goes for Gotham Academy number 14, I give it a 2 out of 5. It's all right. And then let's see what we have here. The Walking Dead issue number 150 and 151. 150, that's huge, man. The Walking Dead has been around for over 150 issues, man. That's insane. So in issue 150, some shit goes down. So after the Whisperers, this new group that likes to dress up as zombies and kill people, and they whisper. So that's why we call them the Whisperers. They've basically put some members of Rick's group on spikes, and not just like, like, hey, let's hang them up, that'll be fun. No, they chopped off their heads and put them on spikes. It's pretty brutal, pretty messed up, pretty jacked up. And so after these Whisper attacks, Rick's decides that he needs to form an army, not only to save themselves from the Whisperers or protect themselves from that, but to protect themselves from each other, because people are getting antsy, people are getting frustrated and upset and attacking each other, and that's not good. We see Dwight, who was part of the Saviors, and then after Negan gets taken out, he becomes the leader of the Saviors. Well, now he's having some issues with being a leader, and he's having some second thoughts about it as well. Cut to pretty much the next issue, and Dwight is taking charge and leading the army that Rick has formed. This guy's really got issues, man. But he's all like, no, I don't want to do it. I got long hair, and it covers part of my face, which has been burnt by an iron. I can't lead, but I'm a born leader. All kinds of weird emo shit like that. But it's kind of funny. And then we also get some really cool stuff. There's some other things that happen, Michonne's back, and Ezekiel died, and so he was the leader of the kingdom. Well, they don't have a leader anymore, so Rick talks to Michonne about her going to lead them, because they know who she is, and like they're familiar. She used to be with Ezekiel before they kind of had their little falling out, splitting up thing, and so she's going to go over and do that. Carl and Lydia are, doing weird teenage eye socket licking things and whatnot at the hilltop. It's you just got to be reading this, people. It's crazy, nuts, insane balls. Anyway, Eugene is fiddling with this radio, trying to make it work, and he ends up making it work and ends up making contact with aliens, with the rednecks, with another group of survivors, maybe with the hilltop. We don't know at this point. We don't know who he's trying to contact or if he was just reaching out to just random people. But he found someone. Maybe it's the Whisperers. We don't know. They could be whispering on the radio right now. I'm a whisperer. Anyway, as far as the rating between these two, the issue 150... everyone built it up, and I don't know if it was so much that Robert Kirkman, I don't think really they built that up. I think people had this whole sense that, oh, it's issue 150, something huge has to happen. And it really didn't. I mean, there was a cool thing, you know, they decided to build an army and stuff like that, and Rick gets attacked, and he takes care of the attackees the same way he's done it in the past, by biting someone's throat out. So, I mean, it was kind of like, oh, we've kind of seen this before, but it still looked cool. But it was kind of underwhelming, man. I mean, issue 150, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5, you know. I was expecting so much more, but I didn't get it. Issue 151, a little more exciting. Artwork on both of these are still fantastic. Charlie Adlard does a great job. But I think issue 151 was a little bit better. I give it a 3 out of 5. And then lastly, for the comic book reviews... Howard the Duck, issue number 1 through issue number 4. And this is Chip Zdarsky's second series, because he's already done 1 through 5. And then Secret Wars happened, and now, whoa, Howard the Duck gets another new issue number 1, which is kind of crazy, kind of weird. So Howard goes down to Florida to find the nexus of all realities, because he's kind of tired of being here on, I guess, Earth Prime, or 616, whatever you want to call it. And so he's going to try to go home, and the nexus of all realities is the way that he can go back home. Well, some shit happens, and he ends up becoming the living nexus, because, I mean, it's Howard the Duck, and damn you, Chip Zdarsky, for doing this to Howard. But there's some really funny jokes in here between the editor, between Chip and Howard. Like it's fun, it's great. That's what I love so much about Howard the Duck, is it's not afraid to make fun of itself and just have fun in this world. And I mean, he goes total cosmic in this like whole first 4 issues. I mean, female clones of Howard and Rocket show up, but they're kind of like a tie over from the previous 1 through 5 series, and we even get their backstory in the issue, which totally tears your heart out, man. It's like the first issue, haha, that's fun, yeah. The second issue was like, oh, this is cool, and oh my god, it's like watching the first few minutes of Up all over again. And but it's really good. Like, God, Chip does such a great job of writing like awesome comedy, and then like brutally like heart-tearing, heartbreaking scenes, and like it's just crazy because it almost hits you out of nowhere. But anyway, back to what's happening now. So after the super sad backstory of the girls, the clone girls of Howard and Rocket, they're called Linda and Shocket, just so you know. But they're being chased by the Collector and his goons, and then it turns out Howard's also being chased by the Stranger, who's kind of like the Collector, but scarier or more eviler, I don't know. And then Galactus ends up showing up because this chick who's apparently the new Silver Surfer, but she's like a bronze surfer, like I don't know how she got her power cosmic, and they kind of explain it, but I don't know who she is and where she got it from. I don't get it, but comics, right? It just makes sense somehow. And so then the real Silver Surfer shows up, and then he says, hey Howard, you're now a Silver Surfer. And so like there's like 3 Silver Surfers now, but one's bronze and the other one's a duck, and they go flying around the galaxy. It's nuts. And then the real Collector shows back up. It's insane. It's crazy. Like I don't even. Wow, Howard the Duck is fun, though. Let me tell you, like, it's insane, it's crazy, but it's so much fun right now. Chip Zdarsky does a great job writing it. I think it's Joe Quinones is drawing it, I think, and it's great. I mean, it's fun. It's, wow. I mean, you're just hearing me kind of just shit explain it to you guys, but really, it's fucking amazing. As far as the rating goes, all these issues, man, 4 out of 5. These are amazing. You know what? Even the second issue, I give it a 5 out of 5. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It had the right amount of action and then like heartbreak, but like in hopefulness at the same time. I just really loved it. But that's it for the comic book reviews for this week, guys. Let me know what you think over on my website, or even on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you guys email me, Bry-Fy podcast@hotmail.com. Everything else is at Bry-Fy podcast. You'll find it. Google it. Let me know what you guys think about these issues, if you've read them, or if you're interested in reading them, or if you want to know more. Let's move on to the Nifty Nerd News real quick. Bam, bam, bam. And then we'll get on to the interview with Jessi Jordan and about her being at Staple, which is going to be March 5th through 6th, just in case you didn't know. Okay, so comics news. Stan Lee announced his final Canadian appearance. It's going to be at the Fan Expo Canada in September, which is really sad. He's already announced no more overseas stuff, and that was a few years ago. Now no more Canada, so it looks like your only chance you're going to get to see him is in the United States. People think this is probably going to be his last year. I mean, he's 93 years old, so man, it's going to be sad because people are I know they're joking, not joking, Infinity War, when that comes out, it's going to be in loving memory of Stan Lee, and that sucks, man. That hurts. His cameo is going to be a statue or something because he might not make it that far, and God, it's sad to think that one of your heroes, regardless of the controversy with all of his creations or co-creations and stuff like that, and just everything else that's happened. I mean, he's a pillar of comics, regardless if you like the man or hate the man. I mean, he's a big deal. And so it's kind of sucks, man. He's that old. I mean, he talks about how his eyesight's gone, that he can't read comics anymore, and that it sucks. But the dude, man, he can still tell stories like you wouldn't believe. And I'm hopefully going to get to see him again this year. Maybe I'll shell out the $100-something bucks to get an autograph or a picture with him. So we'll see. Also in comics, artist Riley Brown, who's done stuff like Lobo, Deadpool, and tons of other things. But Deadpool is where I really know him from. His house caught fire, and basically when the fire department did everything between the smoke and the water and everything, a lot of his stuff was damaged. He and his wife just celebrated the birth of their new son. I think it was just this year, so it's yay, I have a new son, and this is great, my family, and then shit, all my crap got burned down. But you guys can really help him. On my website, I have posts to his artwork dealer and to his regular page where you can get commissions done. Go check out his artwork, buy original pages only, and some of the stuff is actually pretty cheap for original art, and so you should check it out, and all that helps him out, helps him get back on his feet, helps them with restoring everything, and and you get some pretty cool art in the process, so go check that out. And movie news, DC's Justice League will begin filming early April, so that's pretty exciting for people who've been wanting that to happen. I don't know. I'm not too big on the Justice League, and I guess I'm just cautious to see how Batman v Superman does. Speaking of Batman v Superman, DC had said that the Blu-ray home edition of Batman vs. Superman is going to be rated R. It's going to be a lot more violent and stuff like that. And so, wow. I don't know if it's Deadpool did it, so now everyone has to do it, which is crazy. And funny enough, that reminds me of a story. Actually, the first time the Avengers was trying to get rated, the first few times they submitted it to the review board, it got rated R, and it was because of a scene involving Agent Coulson, his death when Loki kills him. Apparently in the original cut, they show him getting stabbed through the chest with Loki's scepter, which is crazy, right? But that's what gave it an R rating. And so eventually they finally edited it in a certain way where that wasn't the R rating issue. But it was just crazy that, and someone had brought that back up. Andrew, I think that was his name, on Facebook. He brought it back up, and it was just funny to see, and just kind of makes you say, like a head scratcher. Other rated R movies, Wolverine 3 is going to be coming out, and it's going to be focusing on the Old Man Logan storyline, which is going to be kind of neat, kind of interesting, but there's a lot of characters that are Marvel property and not Fox property, so I wonder how they're going to change all that up. Also in Marvel stuff, Anthony Mackie says Mark Ruffalo is in Civil War, and he said it on a podcast. I don't know if he just flat out said it or kind of hinted at it, or it was kind of an accident that slipped out, but he apparently confirmed that Mark Ruffalo does make an appearance in there. We don't know if it's an actual acting role or if it's like a cameo of some sort. I don't know. We'll see how that happens. Also, since we're talking about rated R movies and Marvel, Deadpool continues its reign of terror on the movie industry, or just super chimichanga success. It's pretty much starting, it's going almost probably most likely going to become the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. Right now it has its sights on Jesus Christ, as in Passion of the Christ, as the highest earning R movie. So that's pretty crazy. Deadpool, more popular than Jesus Christ. I just said that. Anyway, TV news. Marvel TV exec Jeff Loeb basically shits on everyone's Punisher parade by saying that, look, we don't have plans for a Punisher Netflix series right now. So I don't know why everyone keeps talking about it, why these rumors keep happening. It ain't happening. Now, he might be just saying this to try to like keep things under wrap, but he seems like he's trying to squash everyone's hopes and dreams. So you're a dick. Also in TV news, DC's Powerless has a lot of casting news. Vanessa Hudgenson is playing the lead character in the Powerless series, and it's going to be like, I think, The Office or Parks and Rec, but with this team that takes care of like superhero stuff. Like, well, not superhero stuff, but cleans up after superheroes. Danny Pudi from Community, I don't know if I said that name right, and Alan Tudyk from Firefly. So that's pretty cool. Actually, I know him from, what is that? A Knight's Tale, where he plays like the cool redheaded dude. I think that's him. Is that him? No, that's not him. No, that is him. That's him. And he's in Dodgeball too, as the pirate. Pete the Pirate. I think so. I could be totally wrong. And now an alarm's going off. Wake up, people. Other TV news, nothing. Video game news, there's going to be a virtual reality Sword Art Online game coming out called Sword Art Online The Beginning, with less death than the actual anime. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the anime. The anime focuses on this RPG world called Sword Art Online, and you use like the special VR that like attaches to your nerve system, and that's how you control the game. It's like actually being inside the game. And well, it basically gets hacked, and then if you die in the game, it fries you in real life. It's kind of crazy. And it's actually really awesome. If you haven't checked out the anime, it's on Netflix and Hulu. I don't know if it's on Netflix. I know for sure it's on Hulu. And it's just tons of fun, and I enjoy it really well. And so it's going to be kind of interesting to see them do a actual virtual reality game. I know people are going to make jokes about, oh, it better not kill me, But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm still iffy on the virtual reality. We'll see how that all plays out. Also on video game news, there's going to be a Jay and Silent Bob video game. It's going to be called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch, and it's going to be set up kind of like those cool, like the not Street Fighter, but Double Dragon side scroller where you're running around beating shit up. So it's going to be pretty fun. Or like The Simpsons. There you go. That's probably a better version of that. And so I'm pretty stoked for that. And last news, just a random thing. I have it posted on my website. If you want to check it out, it is the Haunted Texas Road Trip. It takes you all over the state of Texas. If you're totally into paranormal shit and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. The trip, once you start like in Galveston, where of course there's a lot of stuff that happened on that island with the Great Storm. Just Google Great Storm of Galveston, and I think it happened in like the 1900s. Killed a ton of people. A whole orphanage full of children died, and so there's tons of ghost stories there through Houston. It goes up to like Dallas, all the way across Texas, which takes you over to El Paso, then brings you back up through San Antonio, like Austin, and like back up to Houston. And I think the whole round trip is like 2,000 something miles. So I mean, it's a big trip, but if you're a huge paranormal fan and just a Texas paranormal fan, you should definitely check it out. It's on my website, and I got posted their original link, and I also have a picture of the whole map, like mapped out, so you can see how far you have to drive to do all this. But anyway, that is it for the Nifty Nerd news, guys. I have nothing else for you because I'm so excited that I got to talk to Jessi Jordan before Staple. And like I said, go to my website. You'll see more on her and her page and stuff. But stick around for that, guys. I'm so excited to have her on the show. We have a lot of fun. We even talk about Parks and Rec and The Office for a little bit. We talk about some other fun stuff. But mainly we talk about Staple, what she has, her stuff, musings, and just Matt Gordon's beard. You got to know. Anyway, guys, that's it for the regular portion of the Bry-Fy podcast. Go like, review, subscribe on iTunes. Also, don't forget to follow on Twitter, Instagram for updates, free digital codes, all kinds of weird, cool stuff that I give away. And if you head to bryfypodcast.podbean.com, that's my website, where you'll find all these links to all these things that I'm talking about and all the other great stuff that happens on the Bry-Fy podcast. And then, of course, there's like the page over at facebook.com/Bry-Fy podcast. And Bry-Fy podcast is Bry-Fy podcast, Bry-Fy podcast. Just Google Bry-Fy podcast. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. Bry-Fy out. Hey.
Hey.
I think we got it this time. I don't know. Now I'm scared.
You should be.
Everything's going too smoothly right now. It's freaking me out.
Well, I can't see you. Are you supposed to be visible?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I think I just pressed the phone. Usually it does better on recordings. I don't skip as often, so that's always for the best.
Okay.
And I just don't want you to see me. I look a mess right now.
Hideous.
Yeah, I didn't do my eyebrows or anything. It's just terrible.
You got like that new parent just crazed.
Oh my god, like, I don't know what we were thinking. It seemed like a great idea at the time. And here we are now, and I'm drinking again. No. It's bad. No, it's great. Actually, I love it. Like, it's amazing, but it's exhausting. Just so exhausting, huh? I keep saying, I can't wait till he's older where he can at least do certain things on his own. And everyone's like, no, you're going to cherish these moments. I don't know.
No. So my mom, like, you know, I remember this one conversation. It was just a couple years ago. We were somewhere, and there was some cute baby. And she was just like, oh, look at that cute baby. And I was like, do you ever miss... You know, me and Sean, who's my brother, was like, do you ever miss us, being that age? And she's like, nope. Nope. I like that I can talk to you guys, and, you go off and do your own thing, and it's great.
I like that I don't have to take care of you.
You guys don't poop your pants. It's fantastic.
Right? Oh, my God. And, oh, my goodness, man. This kid, he's just... He could probably be substituted for a biological weapon. It's pretty bad. But it's entertaining. I'll give being a parent that it's definitely entertaining. There's a lot of good moments with few like stressful moments.
Yeah, it's utter chaos.
That's what everyone tells me. I don't look forward to the rest of this. It's not too late for adoption, right?
Once I convinced my brother he had been adopted, and he started crying.
Aww.
And went to my dad and was like, Dad, was I adopted? And my dad went, yeah, but they gave you back.
That's mean on two different levels.
Welcome to the Jordan household.
Yay! I missed it. It's great, though, to have you back. What is this, your third or fourth time on?
I think third. I
think, yeah, you might be right. Well, of course you're right. You're always right. The customer is always right.
Glad you finally figured this out.
I'm learning. This is only my third year of podcasting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. This is our annual meetup where we get gathered together and talk.
It's our friend-iversary.
There we go. Actually, I think it's later in the year.
You missed our anniversary?
I'm a new dad. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I think you are my most frequent guest now with your third interview here. So that's good. That's awesome.
Excellent.
I will send you a drawing that I made.
Yay.
But not yet. I still have yet to make it. I'm trying to figure out which one of your drawings I'm going to copy. And then use as my own and be like, no, mine was first. And then get like a Polaroid and with me with a Post-it note from like a year way forever ago, like 78, before I was even born. And then be like, no, see, I drew this. Ignore the Xbox on the ground and the flat screen TVs that you can see in the picture. This is from the 70s.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I've put minimal thought and effort into this.
Seems like a solid plan.
And with that, welcome to the Bry-Fy podcast. No, it's great. And I wanted to have you on, not only because you're one of my favorite artists that I get to talk to, and who lives in this area, but you also are just a cool person, and you're going to be at Staple, which is something I wanted to promote on the show.
Yay!
And I thought, who best than someone that I know won't mess it up?
Boy, were you wrong. No, I'm kidding.
You know, it was either you or like trying to reach out to the people who put on the show. And when I thought about that, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to call Jessi. No. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Actually, you know, I didn't even think about reaching out to the people who created the show because I figured they're going to be like super busy. But
Yeah.
you know who's not going to be busy? The artists preparing for this. None of them will be busy because they should already be ready by now.
Because art is so easy.
It is. It's like, I just went the other day, I dropped my Dr. Pepper on the floor and then I got on like computer paper and I said art sold for $500 on eBay.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Teach me the
It's so-
secret to your success.
no, I'm playing. But no, I wanted to have you on because, like I said, I wanted to talk about Staple, and I just had a few questions for you. Actually, we had questions on Twitter too, which
Yes.
surprised me that anyone responds.
I have an answer to
Okay,
that question.
we will get to those.
It's a two-part answer.
Wait, which one? There's two questions.
Oh.
We'll get to those when we in a little bit. But first, welcome back. Now we're starting. A bit like we go through 3 different restarts, which all will be on the podcast, by the way. So it'll be just
This is going to be a 5-hour podcast.
I was thinking about it like an endurance pod, and basically anyone who listens to it all the way through, I'll put a secret message at the end. If they can listen to it all the way through, I'll give them like a button or something really cool. I don't know. We should collab on a piece. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
You draw it, color it, and I will sign it. But anyway, okay, so Staples coming up, and it's in Austin, Texas at, it's had the name of the theater and hall on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an M.
I totally know it, but I just really am enjoying
Yeah.
listening to you flounder.
Where is my notebook paper? I had it. Anyway, it's in Austin. That's
the Marquesa?
See, I wouldn't even said it right. Like you just said it, and I would have totally messed that up anyway.
I'm probably mispronouncing it.
No, I think you're saying it right. Because I'm trying to remember how it's spelled. I couldn't even remember what it was called, so I don't even know why I'm trying to remember that. But yes, so in Austin there, it's going to be the 5th and 6th, which is a great weekend. It's not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. When you have your conventions lined up, what separates Staple in your mind? Like, what do you feel is different about Staple than other conventions that you do in the year?
Staple's a lot smaller than most of the conventions that I do, and it's a lot more focused on independent artists who have independent content. You know, you don't see the big 2 there. You don't see Marvel and DC. You know, you see a lot of small press people doing their own thing, coming up with their own characters and creations. It's very intimate, you know, you get time to meander and talk to people. So I just love how personal it is and how personable everybody is. I've just met some of the best people there and made some of the best Texas art buddies there. Like, that's where I met the, the Scheibe twins, Lance and Cody.
Okay.
But I met them at Staple the first time I ever did it, and now we're next to each other, so we're going to get up to mini shenanigans this year, of course.
I think that's one of the best things about Staple and the smaller things, like smaller conventions. I've been to Houston Zine Fest before, and it's definitely conventions like that, very intimate, very neighborly, very, like, everyone knows each other. They're friends there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like you said, the shenanigans are a big thing, you know, people even going to other tables, like helping out, doing just fun stuff. Like, it's fun. And that was the one thing I took away at Houston Zine Fest. And I can only imagine Staple being that on just a bit larger scale. I don't want to say more impressive people, but a lot of talented artists there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for a lot of the main guests that they've got for Staple this year. They've got like Spike Trotman and Danielle Corsetto, Emily Carroll, which are, I love all three of those guys so much.
No, yeah, definitely. And it's just great, especially with these kind of creators that are on that larger scale. And at a venue like this, you, like, normal people could go there and actually have conversations with these people, which is really nice. And it definitely, if you're someone who, like, if you're a guest attending and you want to pursue art or pursue these types of creations or this type of creating, I guess, small media, then this is a great opportunity for you to go there, ask questions, and get answers from people directly in it. And not only from those big creators like that, but from yourself and other people, like you said, the twins there. I know Isaiah's going to be there, and some awesome Houston people that there's just a long list to name.
Jamie Kanosian, Sasha Blackshaw, Jimmy Ferry.
Look at you name dropping.
Yeah.
No.
And of course, my partner in crime, Matt Gordon, and his magnificent beard.
I was going to say, you can't mention him without mentioning his beard. I still have the dude stuff pictures saved on my phone. I feel
like I need to come up with a book series, like a dude stuff book series.
I like that. That would be awesome. It could be like Giant Days, but from a guy's perspective more.
And we call it dude stuff?
And yeah, just call it dude stuff. In fact, it would be the exact same story, just put beards on all of them.
Okay.
I'm really into this, like, just copy and paste.
You're going to be like Andy Warhol, but for comics.
I feel like that's a compliment because people know who that is. It's like on Pirates of the Caribbean when he's like, he's the worst pirate I've ever heard of. Ah, but you have heard of me. That's what I'm looking for right now. But no, okay, so that con, like we said, it's very small, very intimate. What is some of your favorite things, or what's something that you look forward to yourself going to that con?
I just, again, it's seeing the people. It's kind of like a little mini family reunion every year. So many hugs, so many, it's just catching up with people. It's the first con that kind of kicks off my year. And it's just always like the best way to kick off my year. Like, it's the least stressful con, and it's got just such a good, happy vibe to it. Chris, or Uncle Staple, as he's fondly known, he's just the greatest guy. He runs the con. I look forward to it every year. That's like my favorite con. It really is.
I think it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's one of Texas's best kept secrets as far as the convention scene goes.
It is, though. That was the phrase that just came to my mind. I was like, it's like the best kept secret of cons.
I feel like so many people know about it, though. Or maybe it's just like because I know about it and I feel like I'm so out of the loop sometimes. Like, I feel like if I know about it, everyone should know about it. But it really is kind of like that, though, in a way. It's, like you said, it's not as stressful. It's a little bit smaller. So it's not like your regular cons, like, Dallas Fan Expo, Comic Palooza, or Anime Matsuri, all those where it's just tons of people all crowded trying to go from table to table. I mean, I feel like there's breathing room there.
Yeah. That's the big thing. Like, you don't have the body press that you get in a lot of cons.
Yeah, so, claustrophobes, you're going to be all right there. That'd be nice. Okay.
I think there's going to be a couple food trucks, which is always good.
Oh, God, man. See, that's what Austin kills me.
I always pig out when I go to Austin.
Right? Yeah. It's like you can't not eat when you go to Austin. And there's so many good food options. Do you know what food trucks are going to be there?
I don't.
I'm sure we could look this up. But that requires work, and as I've established, no. But okay, so Austin has great food. The crowd will be sparse, so it's going to be a great atmosphere at
I
Staples.
don't think sparse is the right word. Just
Yeah, you're right.
intimate.
Yeah, sparse sounds negative. Intimate, that is a much better word right there. Now, at a con like this, how often do you find yourself giving advice to people? Like, do people actually come up to you a lot during this type of convention, ask for help, or?
Yeah, fairly regularly. I've definitely looked through a fair share of portfolios, and also doing a lot of trading with people at other tables.
It's like those Disney pins that everyone talks about, like trading them and trying to collect them all.
Yeah, I had a friend whose mom in high school was like super into that.
It's so weird, like.
Or I had a friend in high school whose mom was super into that. I just realized I phrased that sentence really weird.
It made sense to some of us.
Okay.
Not all of us, but most of us. Is there anyone there this year that you haven't met before?
I haven't met Spike Trotman or Emily Carroll, which I'm really looking forward to.
I feel like I've heard Emily Carroll's name, and I'm trying to think why. I'm a terrible person.
She does really, really amazing horror comics.
Oh, she's the one that did, is it called The Woods?
Through the Woods.
Oh, Through the Woods. There you go. Yes, I read that, and that freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah. Her stuff is so good.
It is really good. I'm like, it's crazy that these type of people can be found at a convention that is as intimate as Staple is. And I think, like you said, people kind of overlook it, but there's some really talented people, including Miss Jessi Jordan, that you guys should check out. Speaking of you and your awesome talent, let's talk a little bit about that. So, of course, there's Musings, which is a webcomic that is there 2 issues out now in paper?
2 issues.
And where are you guys at now? You guys are about to go
I'm about
into...
halfway through issue 3 right now. We're just about to start posting issue 3 online, and it's looking really good. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I was going to say, the last page I remember, the characters were about to go into the book Frankenstein, right?
Yes.
Oh my god. What's the idea here? Is it going to be played pretty creepy, or?
Yeah, I'm playing creepy, not really, but I am playing with, it's, cause it's the traditional Mary Shelley, so, it's the Gothic romantic. So it is very atmospheric. I am playing a lot with, a lot of solid blacks, which I haven't done a lot in the past. So I'm having fun kind of pushing myself with that. And a lot of exaggerating and being a little over the top, because that's what a lot of Gothic romance is. Mm-hmm. And putting a lot of bats and skulls into things just because I like bats and skulls, so this is a good excuse to put that into my artwork.
I mean, you could just say it. You've been wanting to do it for a while. You're the reason why you guys are in Frankenstein.
We're in Frankenstein because of Matt, but I do have to say, when we were talking about, when we were first talking about the series and about how, the characters, for those not in the know, Musings, is about these characters who can hop through anything creative, so books, movies, music, paintings, that sort of thing. And so when we first started talking about, when this happens, I was like, Matt, do they have, costume changes? And Matt was like, oh, no, I don't think that's necessary. And I was like, okay, wait, let me back up. Matt, they're going to have costume changes because I want to draw costumes.
That's pretty awesome. I like the idea of this book so much. Just in that it's not just literary things that they can go into, that it's anything artistic. And I can't wait for the music issue. That's the one that I really want to see so bad. Because I want to see what you're capable of. I want to see what how you interpret that into picture format.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Like, for you, what are you excited for in Musings? Like, if for your art style, or for which art that they would go into? Like, which one would you be more excited for?
I think it would be really fun to have a chase scene through an art museum. And they're like hopping from painting to painting.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
You could do so many different art styles like that. Like, I'm just thinking
exactly.
about, oh my goodness. What about sculptures? Ooh, how would that work?
Oh, I don't know.
My mind is just, I don't know if that. Well,
I just blew your mind.
You did. Now, this podcast has been derailed. Nothing makes sense anymore. We have to end here because I just talked myself into a corner. You know. But, okay, so musings is like the one I think a lot of people who know you know is currently going on. But you have another thing, right? The Adventures of
Marnie and Edward.
Marnie. I said that name wrong. I said Marty at first. Marnie,
yeah.
And Edward, a.k.a. Matt's beard. Because that's what it looks like to me. What is that really about? Because I don't know, last time you were on, I don't think we talked about it too much.
It is about just a girl and her Yeti and the various adventures that they go on together. It's a bunch of fun short stories and that I do with them. I won't have any of their main stories with me because that's a big work in progress. But what I will have with me are some copies of Comics Gauntlet. And Comics Gauntlet was something that I did with a bunch of Houston artists. It was actually organized by Maria Hegg, who is a Houston artist, and she got 7 Houston comic artists together to do 7 pages of comics each within 7 hours. So within those 7 hours, we each had 7 pages of complete stories and had scanned them all and put them together into a book and had like a gallery show and a printed book by the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
And it was really neat. So I did a little Marnie and Edward short for that, which was all about their hunt for a unicorn. Oh, yeah. So you'll definitely have to grab a copy for yourself so you can read that and a bunch of other cool stories. I will also have with me copies of From Life, which is a collection of life drawings and paintings that I've done.
And you know what? You've posted some of this stuff on Instagram, like some of these life drawings, right?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are the ones that I see all the time. And I'm like, oh my god, these are beautiful. And what I love about your art style, it's so distinct. Like when you see it, I know that that's a Jessi drawing. Like I can see it and know that that is your art, no matter what. And that's what I like so much. You're very different and very recognizable. Your art style.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you know, I gotta play up some. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna play your ego some of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Aww.
But no, honestly though, it's some of my favorite art. Of course, your commission piece that you did for me, Miss Marvel, is like the one that I hang most proudly on my wall and make sure everyone sees it. It's always stunning to look at. It's always my prize piece right now.
Oh, thank you so much. Are you making that comment because you saw my Facebook post earlier?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at your website right now, and I was just like, all these just look so much like Jessi. But you know what? I did see it. Now that you're talking about it, you did mention something about that. You were freaking out. Why were you freaking out?
No, I don't know. It was the silliest thought I've ever had. Yeah, I think, what is it called? Like intrusive thoughts? I just had this really silly thought, something where I was like, my art doesn't look like anyone else's art. And I like panicked about that for a moment. And then I was like, no, wait, that's a good thing. Yeah. And then whenever I'm feeling down about myself, I talk to myself like Leslie Knope talks to Ann Perkins in Parks and Rec. So I was just like, you are a beautiful, unique mascot. You are like a beautiful sunfish.
You're a fascinating tiger frolicking through the weeds. Oh my god. I could just... I finally watched all of Parks and Rec for the first time last year. And it just blew me away. Like, I loved it so much. I never thought I could love anything more than The Office. until I finished watching Parks and Rec, and I think that's probably my new favorite show.
It's so funny. This is so off topic from what we're doing, but
that one thing that we talked about earlier that we've already forgotten about.
I'm also distracted because my cat keeps headbutting me. I really liked The Office when it was on, and then I like really loved Parks and Rec, and I've actually watched Parks and Rec through a few times, and I'm re-watching The Office just recently, and I don't really like it. Because I realized that like one of the things that I love so much about Parks and Rec is that like it's such a joyful show. Like just everyone is like the show is just all about like people's enthusiasm for, you know, the things that they love. And I don't know, there's so many parts and things about The Office that are kind of mean-spirited. And maybe that goes away in later seasons, and I just don't remember because I'm still in like early days of the seasons, but I'm just like, I'm not enjoying watching this.
You know what? Now that you say that, I think I can kind of see that. Like, The Office gets its humor from a lot of the negative things about working in the office space. And, of course, the negativity towards Michael and the crap that he does, or his negativity towards other people.
Yeah.
Whereas Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec, it's all about being overly positive or, like, way too enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's done in a happier way. Like, I can see that.
Yeah.
God, I still love them both, but I do think I like Parks and Rec more. Now we're getting on this crazy debate about Parks and Rec and The Office. My listeners will go nuts and probably just give up on me now. No. Okay. So, Staple, March 5th and 6th. Get out there. It's not even expensive to go to. I think the weekend is like $15.
Yep.
Which is friggin' awesome. So that saves all your money. Will you be doing commission or taking commissions at the show?
I will be taking commissions.
So see that? Everyone, you can get personalized drawing sketches, and it's freaking awesome. You get to talk to Jessi. You can bug her, tell her Brian sent you, and she will probably punch you in the face. Or maybe just kind of be like, oh, and then talk to someone else. Because that's usually what happens when I show up to talk to her. I'm just kidding.
I'll just like slowly hide behind Matt.
Just like you just grab Matt and just kind of like scoot him over in between you and the person, and then just be like, "Dude stuff," and then that's good. That's how it works right there. Yeah, everyone who says "dude stuff" to Matt for no reason,
it's
don't
15% off. No, not really, not really.
You will get a like and a retweet from us on Twitter. Pics to prove it. No. But anyway, like I mentioned earlier, we do have some questions that 2 of my followers decided to ask, and they have absolutely nothing to do with Staple. But it made me laugh. Let's see. The first one is from Macarena no Jujitsu, or Jutsu. Says, first of all, who would win, the Hulk or its weight in bees?
So I know the person who's asking this question. Hi, May. Bees are beautiful creatures, and they would not fight the Hulk. Let them be. Do you like my pun? Second of all, that hashtag attached to that question, hashtag G.I. Joe Festival, I just want you to know you know what you've done. And that's all I'm going to say.
I look at Hulk, bees, G.I. Joe Festival. None of this makes sense to me. None of these relate in any way, other than I'm assuming there's new G.I. Joe action figures of bees fighting the Hulk now.
Next question.
It's from actually someone that I know, Braxton on Twitter, at Megalodon Versus, and he asks, who is your favorite X-Man?
You know, I'm not hugely versed in the X-Men. But I've always really liked Kitty Pryde.
Is that because you have a cat? That I can hear. I can hear her purring on
You
the
can
mic.
hear her purring.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's gonna come through in the podcast. She has a really loud purr. Can you see her? Do you have the video up?
I see ears. That's all I see. It's like Jaws, but with cat ears. It's terrifying. Oh, now I see her. Oh, it's so pretty.
She's very...
So Kitty Pryde. And Kitty Pryde's cool because she can go through walls.
She can go through walls, and doesn't she have a dragon?
She does have a dragon.
That's what I always liked about her.
Why does she have a dragon?
I don't remember.
I don't think that they ever... Well, it's an X-Men, so they don't need to explain themselves.
I mean, the X-Men, it's just so... It's such a long history that it's probably like issue 537 from like 1982.
Like, they're in like the thousands, right?
In regard to Universe 33X12, you know.
On Earth 7.
Yeah.
But, man, X-Men, I can't even think. I don't know if I really have a favorite X-Men other than, like, the generic answers are like, oh, Deadpool, Wolverine, because they're popular. I don't know. I've never been an X-Men fan, though. That's, like, the thing. Like, not that I don't think they're cool, but that's never been what I've been into. I'm more into, dare I say it, the Inhumans.
Ah. Dun, dun, dun.
I know. All this political stuff going on in Marvel Comics that with Inhumans and X-Men, and then what is it, that Terrigen Mist stuff, Thanes, and oh my god, it's crazy. That's why I don't keep up with the X-Men, because everything is nuts in the X-Men universe.
Yeah.
And everyone's angry at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no one who's friends. They even hate Spider-Man for some reason.
Oh.
I don't get it. I don't get the X-Men. But that was it for all the listener questions. The ton of listener questions that we had that just bombarded us. It was just so many.
And just so relevant.
I can't do this anymore. Like, if I have to sit through all these questions again, I might just quit podcasting. No. Guys, please keep sending questions. Please keep talking to me. I miss y'all. But anyway, so please go out. We'll say it again, March 5th and 6th in Austin at that crazy theater where if you just go to staple.org, right, is the website?
I believe it's like staple-austin.
I'm about to look it up right now.
It's staple-austin.org.
Yep, you are right. I'm just confirming.
You don't want to end up at a website for office supplies.
Or do you? Well, not if you're a Dunder Mifflin employee, but boom, bringing it back to the office. But yeah, check out the website. It'll give you all the information you'll need, especially the address to show up, because don't just walk up to Austin. Although I feel like it's so friendly there. If you're like, Staple, please, they would be able to tell you, oh, just, go down this road and you'll find it. Like, Austin is just so nice. And so that's probably why they do it in Austin. Not because it's a central location, but because everything's so nice and there's so much food there.
You'll just roll me out at the end of the weekend. I'll have eaten so much.
I just saw your tweet. My computer's really slow on letting me know when tweets happen. You're so mean to people. Why are you so... No, I'm kidding. I promise that she's not mean to people. I just say things like that.
You weren't there. You don't know.
I wasn't there, and I don't know. So I'm looking from the outside, and just you being mean to people. But Jessi, thank you so much for coming on the podcast just to chat a bit about Staple. Before we go, though, where else can people find you?
They can find me at jessiart.com. They can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Jezzacat, Jezzacat. And they can find me on Tumblr, jessijordan.tumblr.com. And that's Jessi with an I, Jessi.
Woo! Exciting. And you guys, if you also go to my website, I'll be having all her links on my comics section under the cool creators or whatever I decide to call it. You'll see it. You'll see a picture of either her face or her art, whatever I find when I Google search. So be prepared for that.
There's another Jessi Jordan, so don't put that other Jessi Jordan.
I'm going to do that. I think I should. That's,
I don't think we look very similar.
I will be the judge of that. What I'll do is I'll get two pictures.
She's a middle-aged black lady, so.
I was under the impression that was exactly what you look like. But anyway.
Are you one of those people where you're like, I don't see color?
I just don't see.
You just don't see.
But no, thank you so much, Jessi, for coming on the show. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, just keep being awesome. You're awesome, and your art's awesome.
So are you.
I'm mediocre at best.
No, you're fabulous. You have a good night.
You too. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.